Motorola Moto G82 review. This phone provides a cost-effective option with an OLED display and stereo speakers. But its camera quality and gaming performance are not considered top-tier. The Motorola Moto G82 5G is designed with practicality in mind, featuring plastic panels aside from the glass screen. The finish of this Motorola device follows the same design philosophy, and a silicone case is included. Without the case, the textured cold metal finish can be seen with dots that are embedded in the surface. The Moto G82 is 8mm thick, thinner than previous models in the same series when fitted with its silicone protective case. The case also gives it a softened appearance, concealing the dotted pattern on its surface. The Motorola Moto G82 5G's most distinctive aspect is its camera housing, which is designed as an ultra-softened, rounded rectangle. Despite its softer design, it still boasts 50 MP and WA credentials noted next to the lenses. With more coverage than mentioned above, this phone is unremarkable but generally agreeable. The Motorola Moto G82 5G features a side-mounted fingerprint sensor with a slightly slower response speed compared to the best-in-class. Moreover, it has a headphone jack and two speakers, one above the screen and one on the bottom edge of the phone. The output speakers have adequate low-frequency output, and it does not result in a thin-sounding listening experience. A pair of these speakers are powerful, making them well-suited for tasks like playing podcast audio or streaming videos and gaming while multitasking. The stereo setup is beneficial for watching videos or playing games in landscape mode. The side-mount fingerprint scanner on the Moto G82 is not as advanced as what you will find in more expensive models. It is slightly slower than the top-class scanners, but it works well and has never failed to respond. Motorola has described the water resistance feature as water repellent and has an IP52 rating. The water resistance of this device is low, with a rating of 2 meaning that it can resist splashes at up to 15 degrees from vertical. In practical terms, this would cover some rain, but the mobile should be considered non-water resistant. The Moto G82 features a 3.5mm headphone jack and offers the option of a microSD card or second SIM in the SIM tray. The Motorola Moto G82 5G features a 6.6-inch 120Hz screen with an OLED panel, providing excellent contrast and color, making the phone an attractive choice at the given price point. We observed the display had a peak luminance of 650 nits in direct sunlight, which is lower than the 770 it can reach on the Realme GT Neo 3T. It was not overly dim outdoors but did not come close to leading its category. At the default setting, we found the color temperature to be a bit cool. This is typical since cooler tones can give off a perception of greater brightness and punch. Nevertheless, the Moto G82 appears better with a slight adjustment. The Moto G82 can be changed to a normal color in the settings menu, and the temperature can be adjusted with the slider. Observations indicate that the Motorola Moto G82 employs an LGP OLED panel, as opposed to a Samsung one, resulting in a slight blue-green tint being visible from certain angles. This issue is not typically seen with the latest generation of Samsung OLED panels. The 1080p screen offers sharp and clean visuals, however, spending more on a phone may not result in a visible difference such as improved peak brightness in direct sunlight. The Motorola Moto G82 runs on Android 12 using the classic Moto interface, making only slight modifications to Google's material design style as seen in version 12. Drop-down menu items are housed in colorful bricks and the color can be adjusted using the Moto app to give Android an individual look. The Moto G82 features Peak Display, a screen that shows the time and battery life when the phone is moved, such as when it is lifted from sleep mode. The Motorola G82 supports various gestures, such as quickly twisting the handset twice to launch the camera app or toggling the torch by making a double chop style movement. The Moto G82 runs on the Android 12 operating system, which is known for providing smooth and slick experiences. With a mid-range Qualcomm Snapdragon 695 CPU, however, app loading and multitasking may be slightly slower than what flagship Android devices offer. This type of CPU is shared by the Sony Xperia 10 IV and Realme 9 Pro phones. The CPU performance of this device is acceptable, however, its GPU performance does not match that of the Snapdragon 870. Therefore, there may be graphical limitations in some high-end games and patchy frame rates in those without optimized performance. The Moto G82 on Fortnite is only able to select the medium graphics preset, and the phone is not able to support the 60 FPS mode. After testing this device with these settings, it was seen that there were some frame rate drops when using aerial vehicles, although for the most part, it handled the game adequately. While the gaming performance of this device may be limited, there are other phones available around this price range that provide better performance, such as the Realme GT Neo 3T and the Poco X4 GT. The Motorola Moto G82 houses 3 rear cameras, a 50-megapixel primary, an 8-megapixel ultra-wide, and a 2-megapixel macro camera whose performance is limited.